Control the radar with weather 2 behind Eric. Thank you.
Joining us on digital right now, Facebook and such. We are going to be dealing with this warning until 3:15, and I believe this is confirmed based on the color. Let's go ahead and pull. All right, this will work. This is the area of circulation. So here's Cordele. This is just off to the north and east of Cordele. If you're in these areas off to the north and east, Finlayson, what is this, 257, 215, that's the intersection. This is heading toward your area. This is going to be a confirmed tornado on the ground right now, moving off to the north and east. So if you are in these areas, you need to take cover immediately. Go to that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors. As this moves up to the north, this is going to be just crossing Cemetery Road right now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Garlick. We have a tornado warning. Ryan, let's go ahead and wind down a little bit for those of us joining on the TV side of things. We have a tornado warning for Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, in Wilcox County until 3:15. This is the storm that we've been watching, and this is a confirmed tornado. Does that say that in chat, Ryan? Yeah, confirmed tornado. So let's go ahead and throw up our debris tracker. We'll show you where that debris is. Right there. This is so a tornado debris signature is what we're seeing right now, and you can see that different shading there just to the north and east of Crisp. This is going to be moving across 257 east of Richwood up toward 257 and 215, I believe, is the intersection there. So this storm is producing a tornado, confirmed tornado, I believe radar confirmed tornado, moving off to the north and east at this point. And the green is into the radar, red is away. This is going to be that area of circulation that we do see producing a tornado. Again, confirmed tornado just to the north and east of Cordele. If you're in these areas, you need to take shelter immediately. Ryan, can we put a storm track on this as well? So this is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be moving up toward the Wallace area. Tippettville around 3:01. So if you are in Tippettville right now, you need to move to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors. This is a pretty unique weather setup that we're seeing right now, especially for the middle to beginning of April. And the storm is producing a tornado. You can see the different shadings there. These pinks indicating that it was a confirmed tornado on the ground, moving off to the north and east. Let's kind of just go ahead and scroll through that, Ryan, a little bit, and just look at where we do see that area of rotation. I'm going to try to get this computer logged in. So this is going to be until 3:15, north and east of Cordele, and it's going to be this area of circulation right here. So we have the greens in, reds away from the radar, and that is where we do have that confirmed tornado right now. Ryan, going ahead and drawing that area of rotation. Let's go back to that debris tracker. Let's look and see what we see with that. So we did see a little spike in that. And so I believe it was a confirmed. Let me log into National Weather Service chat. Or Ryan, if you want to give an update, I believe Ryan's mic is open.
Yes, my mic is open. So again, if you're just joining us, we do have the tornado warning out for parts of Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County until 3:15. So if you do live in this area, you want to take shelter immediately. You want to get into the most interior room of your house. You basically want to put as many areas between the outside and you as possible. So an interior hallway, closet, bathroom. If you have a basement, that is always the best option for us. Let me show you here just kind of where you want to move into your home. So when you're under the tornado warning, remember the difference between a watch and a warning. The warning is when the conditions are imminent, and we have that out right now. So you want to get into an interior room. You don't want to be on any kind of rooms that have exterior output. The hall, the stairwell, the bathroom, the closet, the best option, but really always the best one is if you have a basement. That is the best place if there's a tornado warning over top of you right now. So you really want to take shelter immediately if you do live in these areas, because there is an observed tornado to be onto the ground in parts of this area. So we were talking about the threat for some severe weather throughout the day today, and to stay weather aware. So definitely a good idea now to really take shelter if you know anyone that lives in this area. The storm is moving to the north and east at 30 miles per hour just to the east of I-75, and this will be continuing to move up to the north and east into Pulaski County here over the next 20 minutes or so. So this is definitely a big storm to be keeping an eye on. And it has quite a few lightning strikes, definitely getting that blinding rain over Cordele right now, moving north and east for us. So here's that tornado warning again for portions of Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County, just east of 75. Vienna getting hit with some of the lightning strikes as well. Cordele, that heavy blinding rain right now that's heading up towards Wallace and Finlayson here. So this is definitely a really powerful storm for us. And Eric, I'll toss it back over to you.
Yeah, Ryan, just want to talk a little bit more about that debris signature. So sometimes we can confirm that damage is being done by a tornado with this product. Now, there is a little bit of a drop in reflectivity or in correlation coefficient here, and this is potentially an area. Can't confirm the tornado based on just this signature alone, and I'm not seeing enough to say for sure that it is what was being lofted into the atmosphere that the radar was picking up on. But the emergency manager in Crisp County has confirmed damage from this storm, assuming that it is a tornado, but that debris signature is not showing up yet. So we're going to continue to treat this as a tornado on the ground that has been doing damage. And you can see these winds really picking up a little bit in intensity as that moved off to the north and east, and there's still an area of rotation right here. So this is 215, this is 257. This is going to be some really strong winds, regardless if this is a tornado. There is going to be the potential for winds in that area. So let's go ahead, and this is storm relative velocity, just kind of clears up where that area of rotation is. So here's Cemetery Road, just to the northeast. It looks like this is going to be crossing the, I believe that's the Crisp County line. Yeah, so that's going to be just now crossing the Crisp County line. Going to be moving right across 215 and then 257. That area of rotation should be just to the east of that intersection there at 215 and 257. If you're in Tiptonville right now, you need to take shelter, move to that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors immediately. This also does come with a hail risk. These storms today could have the potential of producing hail up to an inch, inch and a half in diameter. So that's another thing that we're watching for right now, not showing that picking up. The immediate concern is going to be this area of rotation that is moving off to the north and east. Again, this is a tornado warning. This is why we're on air interrupting your afternoon programming until 3:15 for Crisp, Dooley, and Pulaski County. And as I just mentioned, just crossing the Crisp county line, moving into Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County. That area of circulation is going to be moving off to the north and east. Ryan, you said 30 miles an hour?
Yes, 30 miles. It's now 25. It's slowed down a little bit,
okay,
25
so
miles per hour.
Let's go ahead and update the speed on this.
This point is now the radar indicated, doesn't have that observed tag on it anymore. So
okay.
Still seeing the rotation though.
Okay, yeah, definitely. The storm has done damage, whether there's a tornado on the ground or not. This is a significant storm with damage, moving off to the north and east at about 25 miles per hour. So let's put a track on these. So Tippett and Tiplettville, 257 and 3 o'clock. This is going to be moving up toward Wallace. I think this is going to be kind of moving a little bit further east. Let me clear this off of here and look exactly kind of at the storm motion of this. So it's moving pretty much due due northeast. So I think eventually this storm is going to make its way to Hawkinsville. So let's go ahead and just put this far enough out to get Hawkinsville, and we'll move it up to Cochrane. So this storm is going to continue to move off to the north and east. Hopefully it will weaken a little bit. But Wallace at 2:59, Gooseneck at 3 o'clock, Hawkinsville at 3 o'clock, Cochrane at 3:03, and Goley around 3:03 as well. So this storm is going to be capable of doing damage as it's already done so. So treat this as a tornado on the ground. If you're in these areas, especially up toward Tippettville and Wallace, you need to be in that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors immediately. Let's go ahead and throw the shear tracker on there. And not surprised at what I see here. That's a pretty good area of rotation in a bad way, showing up on radar there just to the north and east of Cordele, where we did see damage done as confirmed by the emergency management director. Storms drifting off to the north and east. Let's show you just kind of a big picture again. We'll probably see a few more of these warnings as we go through the afternoon and evening. We do have a tornado watch. This does go until 7 o'clock tonight, and we'll just throw that up real quick. Here's that watch box. Mount Vernon, McRae, Eastman, Cochrane, Warner Robins, Roberta does not include Macon and Bibb County at this point. Doesn't mean this won't be extended as we go through the evening, but this is going to be a system to watch as we go through the evening. Very unique setup for this time of year in the way of how it's playing out. Very almost characteristic of a tropical storm, but it's not. It is not a tropical system. However, it looks a lot like it, and it is producing some of these outer rain bands with enough shear and instability and energy to do some damage. So here's those storms moving off to the north and east. To Abbeville, you're going to get some storms, not under a warning at this point. McRae, same for you, but down toward Douglas, those of us tuning in on social media, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning. Those are going to drift up to McRae, Vidalia, over towards Soperton, Cochrane, Perry as well. So again, this is drifting off to the north and east, and it's going to be out of the tornado watch area in the next hour or so, which means that these storms are moving into an area that is not as favorable or conducive for these storms as they drift off to the north and east. Ryan, I'm going to toss it to you for a quick update.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Eric. So we are still seeing that tornado warning, just kind of on a wider view here. I was just adding something else. So here's a wider view kind of exactly what's happening on the radar. So we've got this line of storms that's through Taylor, Macon, down towards Dooley and Crisp County, getting the band of rain. The heaviest thunderstorms are really over Crisp and Dooley County towards Wilcox and into Pulaski County here over right now and towards the next 15 minutes. We have the severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for portions of Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County. This is for radar indicating damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and potentially around quarter-sized hail. And embedded in that, we still have the tornado warning, the potential for there to be rotation in the atmosphere that could be spawning a tornado on the ground for portions of Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County until 3:15. So we still have another 15 minutes or so left of this tornado warning. And this is moving to the north and east. It's not moving at a race pace. It's about at 25 miles per hour, but this is really headed for, if I zoom in here, really Finlayson, Wallace, you want to be into your safe areas right now. Just moving to the east of 75 through areas of 257, State Route 27, 112. You are in portions of this tornado warning. So if you do have anyone that lives in this area or know them, you want to give them a call, tell them to take shelter right away, get into the interior room. Really, you want to put as many layers between the outdoors and you as possible. The windows are really the first to go when we have the damaging winds or possible tornadoes. So you want to be putting as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible so that you can stay safe. Interior closet, bathroom, no windows, just to put as many layers between you and the area as possible. So if we kind of go back here with our storm relative velocity, this really dissects the storm and gives us some of what the rotations possible with this storm. Eric, I'll toss it back to you to get.
Yeah, Ryan, just wanted to kind of regroup here and go into, we'll go right down to roads and we'll show you where this area of circulation is. So this is going to be Rock Hill. This is going to be Holt Walton Road, Mellon Road, right along 257. So this area of circulation is moving right over top of you right now. Now, the good news is we are showing some signs that this is losing a little bit of organization and losing a little bit of the ingredients needed to produce a tornado. So let's just kind of go back in time a little bit with our radar, with our storm relative velocity, and we'll show you the area that we anticipate. No confirmation on damage location. East side of Cordele, starting roughly 2 miles south of town on Highway 90. Damage including down trees and power lines. So that is from the EMA director down in Crisp County. So east side of Cordele, crossing 90. So this is right about there. So we did see that little uptick. I think that was a little bit of noise in the radar, but we're going to be looking, here's East Crisp. So this is 280. Okay, so here's 90 and 300. So let's go back a little bit more and look at, so just east of town along Highway 90. And I think they're watching in back and in the newsroom. If we can relay that message, we do have crews headed down there to check out that damage. So 90 southeast of Cordele is where that damage started. But you can see how close those reds and greens are together. And then as this moves off to the north and east, we're seeing this become not as evident. The reds and greens not quite next to each other, not nearly as tight of a circulation is the word that I keep coming back to. But we see this storm moving off to the north and east. And as I mentioned, we have more of them. So severe thunderstorm warning will go until 3:15 for Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County, and also a tornado warning for Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County. And this is going to be really going right over the intersection of all three of those counties. So all three of those county lines touching in that area, and that's where that area of circulation is going to be going. As we follow this line down a little bit further, Abbeville, McRae, Eastman, this storm is going to be drifting off to the northeast as well. So right now it's in Coffee County, moving through Douglas, producing a little bit of hail. But our main storm that we have been watching and will continue to watch is this storm that moved through Crisp County. Let's go back to shear tracker. Still showing a little bit of shear as well. But you can see that peak right as it crossed Highway 90 and then moving over 280 and then drifting off to the north and east. I think the most shear or most gate-to-gate shear, or whatever you want to call it, the rotation of winds is peaking right about there. But as we look at our tornado debris signature, so what this does is this will be able to tell the difference in debris that is, or objects that are in the atmosphere. So if it's all rain coming down, it'll be one color, all symmetrical in size, same shape. You introduce a little bit of hail, you get some discoloration. But when it really starts to show us that there's some other objects in the atmosphere, leaves, wind, maybe some shingles, any sort of debris that's getting sucked up into the atmosphere, our radar will be able to detect that as it moves off to the north and east, but really not seeing super strong signs of that. But the confirmed part was from a damage report just south and east of Cordele. And this is just velocity winds. So you have green moving in toward the radar and red away. There's that broad area of circulation. Then we'll switch to storm relative velocity, and this will kind of clear that up a little bit. And you can clearly see the inflow of the storm moving in to that center of circulation, that mesoscale area of, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it right now, but Tippettville, you need to be in your safe spot, away from windows and doors, drifting off to the north and east. Ryan, let's go over to you for an update.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Eric. Yesterday we were talking about there being kind of bands of rain, and especially as we got through the afternoon, the storms could turn severe. So right now we're getting that band of rain showers and storms that's moving through Taylor counties and towards Crawford County, southern Houston County, and down to the south and east. So I put a tracker on the timing for this as this continues to move north and east over towards Perry at 3:11. You'll get hit with some of the rain. This doesn't mean necessarily that the severe weather will be over top of you, but just this line of storms that still is capable of producing some severe storms will be headed your way over Forsyth at 3:30, Warner Robins 3:31, Chauncey 3:35, over Cochrane at 3:40, McRae 3:44, Macon 3:47. So this line of showers and storms is going to continue to move north and east throughout the next hour or so. So make sure you stay weather aware, still over us, but we still do have the tornado warning that's out for about another 9 minutes or so. And this is tornado warning is for portions of Dooley County, Pulaski County, and Wilcox County as well. So if you live in these areas, you still want to take shelter just east of Vienna and Unadilla and just east of 75, getting hit with a lot of that blinding rain as well and the lightning strikes. So if you live in this area, really want to be into that interior room for the next 9 or 8 minutes or so until this tornado warning expires. We will continue to watch the storm as well as it does move to the north and east. But even embedded inside of the tornado warning, we have the severe thunderstorm warning that's for portions of Crisp, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox County. So even if there isn't a tornado on the ground, there still could be damaging winds up to about 60 miles per hour. This is still into effect until about 3:15. So we still have the portion of that getting some heavy, severe weather still headed this way right through Tippettville right now. And so this is for areas really into eastern Dooley County, southwestern Pulaski County, and northwestern Wilcox County here for us with this potential rotation still part of this thing. So they did just cancel the severe thunderstorm warning, but we still have the tornado. Wait, did they just expire the tornado warning as well? Did you see that, Eric?
Expired tornado warning and severe thunderstorm.
Okay, so I think they have now just expired the warnings as the rotation has kind of been broadening out. We will continue to kind of follow these storms as they go off to the north and east so that, we could be seeing some more uptick as we're going to have some more bands of rain here as we kind of got throughout the day today. This was our severe level threat. Yesterday, all of us were under a 1. Now areas to the south and west are up to a 3. So areas really south of Macon and south of Houston County, that darker orange is a level 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. So still could see quite a few more severe storms start to pop up over the next few hours.
Yeah, Ryan, and it's 3 o'clock now. The tornado watch goes until it goes until 7 o'clock. So here's that tornado watch. Right now, it does include Roberta. I'm going to step off back there, and then you can pop me up. All right, there we go. So Roberta, Warner Robins, Perry, Hawkinsville, Eastman, Americus, a large area included in this tornado watch, and it goes until 7 o'clock. Now, typically, when we have storms come through, they all come through, and then we give the all clear, and then we're good for the rest of the night. I don't think that's going to be the case with this setup. We're going to be watching the potential for more storms to be moving through. So let me go ahead and we'll throw up future radar. And for those of you that are still seeing the warnings on here, the National Weather Service has expired these. They will not clear until 3:15. It's just the way the system works. If it gets so close to 3:15 and there's still a threat, they have to keep it up. They can't clear it. They can expire it, but it won't drop off until 3:15. So this is the storm that was tornado warned and has a severe thunderstorm warning with it, but that is expired. And that's why we're kind of just doing a little bit of a weather update, kind of talking about what's going on. So okay, and we are seeing some lightning in Macon right now. But as I mentioned, let's see if we can see a strike or two. I don't think there's a ton of lightning in downtown Macon right now. But yeah, there's definitely some lightning moving into Macon, and these storms are moving into Macon. That tornado watch doesn't include Macon-Bibb County at this point. That doesn't mean we can't see that extended, but we'll be watching that as well. So here's 16, mainly along and south of 16 is kind of where that severe tornado watch is. But let's go ahead and let's go move through future radar. So doing a pretty good job with these storms in place right now. These are a little bit further north, but pretty good representation of what the atmosphere is doing right now. Watch what happens as we go through the evening. So we do see some more storms trying to pop up, especially north of Albany back toward Columbus. I think this sector, we could see a few more of these storms popping up 5, 6 o'clock. Now, this initial line is going to move through and could kind of work over the environment and take some of the ingredients needed to produce the severe weather and tornadoes. But as this goes through the evening, again, can't rule out some more warnings and severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings included in that. So here's kind of the setup right now. Here's the initial line of storms extending from really Valdosta up through Douglas, Coffee County into Cordele. And then you can see a few more of these storms trying to pop up back from 85 down toward Columbus into Albany as well. I'm going to go ahead and let's pop up visible satellite, and we'll just kind of show you what it looks like, not in radar form. Again, the warnings have expired. They will be on the screen and be scrolling until 3:15 until the National Weather Service can actually clear them. So here's the initial line moving through, and you can actually see the elevated storms kind of filling out here, pushing off to the north and east. These are anvils or overshooting cloud tops that we see moving into Macon right now with these storms, and those are going to be drifting off to the north and east. This stops at 1 o'clock. Let me go to current time. That's better. So here's the storms with the overshooting cloud tops, and you can kind of see them protruding a little bit more with these storms. So those are moving off to the north and east. We do have some sunshine behind it from Columbus down toward Albany. If that sunshine can move into middle Georgia during the heating of the day, we could see a little bit more destabilization and more ingredients available for the storms to kind of tap into. But we've been kind of cloudy and dreary all day long here in Macon, and we're going to see that impact our severe storms as we're doing right now. And with that tornado watch being issued just to the further, just south and west of us, where those storms are a little bit more potent. But you can see these storms from Thomaston, Butler, Montezuma, not much in the way of lightning with them. Storms with lightning typically have a little bit more energy and a few more ingredients to tap into with these storms as they move through during the afternoon. So this is going to be something that we're going to continue to monitor. We'll be watching this one closely, moving up toward McRae, Soperton, Vidalia, back up toward Dublin as well. But as we move further north and east, the fewer ingredients are available for these storms to kind of tap into and work. Ryan, any more updates from the National Weather Service or anything you want to add?
There have not been any updates for the National Weather Service. We still have that strong thunderstorm. It's not a warned storm, but still a strong thunderstorm is moving through southwestern Dodge, Pulaski, southwestern Telfair now, Wilcox County, and southeastern Dooley counties. So we will continue to watch the storms. If we do see any more storms for today, still the potential risk, the most are going to be for damaging winds or that isolated tornado, but can't rule out flooding or large hail. Just know that we are keeping an eye on the storms, and you will want to stay weather aware at least through 7 o'clock, as we have a tornado watch that is in place for really areas south and west of Macon, that's stretching from Roberta, Butler, all the way south and east through McRae and Mount Vernon. So definitely a good idea to stay weather aware through the rest of today as we continue to watch the storms. Eric, anything else?
Yeah, Ryan, we'll be watching these storms closely as we go through the afternoon and into the evening. Again, tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning still showing up in middle Georgia. These have been expired in the Cordele, Cochrane area. That storm should continue to weaken as it moves off to the north and east. Just so everybody knows, kind of in the back, we'll stick with this and try to return to regular programming in about a minute, maybe two. 3:16 is kind of what we're going to be shooting for. There's the warnings that dropped. It is now 3:15. Those warnings have expired, even the one down in Coffee County as well. So a little bit of lightning still associated with it. Can't rule out some small hail. But as these storms move off to the north and east, they're going to be encountering that more stable environment and should continue to see the lightning strikes come down, the reds, the magentas, all of those bright, scary colors moving through Cordele, moving up toward Dublin as well. So we'll be watching that closely as we go through the afternoon. But again, no warnings on the board right now. Did have some damage down in Crisp County near Cordele, and we'll be working to verify that and get pictures of that damage. And we will likely have that for our 5 and 6 o'clock shows this evening. So tornado watch does go until 7 o'clock. We'll be watching these storms closely. For now, we're going to return you back to regular programming. Thanks for coming to WGXA News and the Skywatch Weather Team for the latest on your severe weather threat. We'll keep you updated as the afternoon and evening goes on. All right, and thanks to everybody sticking around with us on social media as well. We'll continue with these storms a little bit longer and go a little bit more in depth with our coverage. So not really showing any signs of shear on our shear tracker. That kind of peaking in Crisp County near Cordele. I'm right in front of it. That doesn't help you all very much. This is where we did see the peak of shear, and that was at 254, but we did get some damage reported before that. But taking a look at the big picture, kind of working that line down. Here's Douglas. There's a little bit of shear popping up there as well. Fitzgerald, Cordele, Abbeville, and then we'll see McRae and Eastman populating as we go a little bit further north. As far as radar goes, not everybody's seeing rain and not everybody's seeing thunderstorms as well. So let me throw lightning on here. Lightning is going to be a good indicator of where we are going to see our severe weather threat as we go through the afternoon. And you can see the highest concentration of lightning right now moving through Coffee County. But we do have some storms trying to form back toward Columbus. But these storms, especially these storms, not a very narrow band, a lot of cloud cover associated with it. That should limit the severe weather threat as we go through the afternoon. Not going to give the all clear yet. Still got a couple lines of showers and potentially storms to move through, and that's why that tornado watch has been issued until 7 o'clock, and we'll be watching this as well. So, Ryan, let's get a quick update from you.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So, yeah, the storms are continuing to move north and east here on a scale of 1 to 5. Some of our south and eastern counties are at a 3-4 threat for some severe weather. If I can kind of pull that up here behind me. So here you go. You see that for areas Macon, Dublin, north and east, you're under a 1. That means really as the storms move further north and east, they're going to kind of lose their energy and environment kind of through areas through Upson County, down towards Dodge County and Telfair and Wheeler County is kind of into that 2, but also south of that, really south of Dooley County, really under that 3. That means we could still see some numerous severe storms pop up as we're kind of having bands of showers and storms that move through. So even though we had kind of the band moving through right now, there could be a few more pop-up storms that pop up here over the next few hours for us. So let's kind of time this out for you here over the next little while. So here's 5 o'clock by the afternoon, kind of moving, the showers are moving, storms are moving through the heart of our viewing areas, raining over Thomaston and Forsyth, down through Macon, Warner Robins, just heading towards Dublin, moving over Pulaski and Cochrane, Eastman, all those areas. And then as the storms kind of continue to move out of here, see the model's kind of trying to show some more storms to be firing up, especially south and west of Macon, through areas in Macon, Sumter counties, still Dooley and Crisp County. Could get another pop-up severe storm here. This is at 7 o'clock. And then kind of as that moves northward, still 9 o'clock is moving over Monroe, Butts in towards Bibb County here. And any of these storms could turn severe. And the primary threat that we're really looking for, or that we really could see with these storms, are for the damaging winds. 50 to 60 miles per hour can knock out some power lines, maybe take off the siding of some houses or some roofs with that damaging wind threat. But we could see some isolated hailstorms or some isolated tornadoes pop up here with any of these storms that continue to fire on through. This is 11 o'clock, 12 a.m. through midnight. Some isolated storms out there. So as these kind of continue to move north and east, though, they will kind of lose their strength. And then it's out of here by 2 a.m. So I wouldn't let your guard down completely yet with these severe storms. We still have a few hours of pop-up storms to be firing through that could produce some damage here. We don't have any severe thunderstorm watches out for our area, but we do have a tornado watch for most of south and west of our area, really. The difference between watches and warning, when a watch is in place, like those areas shaded in yellow, that means the conditions are favorable for tornadoes to be forming or storms to be producing a tornado. Macon is not included in that, and anywhere to the north and east. Dublin in Lawrence County also not included in this, but this is in full effect until 7 p.m. That means we could be seeing a few more isolated storms pop up here really over the next 4 hours. So definitely still a good idea to stay weather aware, even if you're not in those yellow kind of areas, because the storms will still be firing through. You've got some showers and storms as these kind of move through for us here over the next few hours. So let me maybe take it on a wider view. This might be too wide of a view on satellite and radar. Notice kind of, look at the system. It almost looks like a pseudo-tropical storm. We have the low pressure that's kind of moving over portions of Mississippi and Alabama. That's kind of the parent low with the storms. I'm kind of trying to update this so that it moves. See that kind of swirl that's moving over Jackson? This almost looks like a pseudo-tropical system, and then we have the outer rain bands that are kind of firing up. Then this is what's producing some of those storms. So notice the kind of the severe storms that we're getting right now. They were in portions of the panhandle of Florida, and now they're moving north and westward. So it's still in kind of an area that we could be seeing a few more storms start to fire up, but the parent low associated with this is well off to the north and west. It almost really does look like a pseudo-tropical storm. So don't quite let your guard down yet as we're kind of here for the next few hours with these storms. Make sure you have a way of getting warnings. Always the best way to do that is to download the WGXA Skywatch weather app. It gives you the exact warnings for you or for your location so that you can be weather aware, know exactly what to do when a warning does pop, and you can get into that interior room of your home for us here. So right now on the radar, not everyone is getting hit with all of the rain. It's still have the line of showers and storms that's moving through. My computer's moving a little slow. So there is one severe thunderstorm warning that's out of our viewing area. This is for portions of Coffee and Jeff Davis County until 4 p.m. But see how the line of storms is kind of moving through Upson, down through Taylor counties, Crawford County. Really the strongest portion of the storm is still through southern Houston County, Pulaski, northeastern Dooley County with that lightning and that heavy rain. But this is kind of the strong storm that's beginning to move through Telfair and into Wheeler County. So if you live really towards Jacksonville, Lumber City, McRae, you're about to get hit with some strong storms here over the next 25 minutes. They could extend the severe thunderstorm warning, as it kind of does have quite a few lightning strikes. Let's see what that severe thunderstorm warning is for. I don't actually see it. That might just be for the Jacksonville station. So I don't actually have the information with that at this current moment. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty powerful storm that's moving really south and west through McRae and Lumber City, Jacksonville, moving into Telfair, Wheeler counties. I could put another track onto this over the next hour or so. This isn't exactly a fast-moving line of storms. The warnings that were out earlier, they were moving around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So they weren't kind of speeding on by. They were still moving, but they're moving at about 30 miles per hour, I'd say. So if I kind of time a line tracker on this and move it over the next hour or so, this is kind of how the showers and storms are really going to pop up. So McRae, you're going to get hit with this storm here at around 3:24. That's kind of over the next 5 minutes. You're going to get some of that rain start to pick up for you before the lightning strikes kind of move in. Lizella at 3:29. Forsyth at 3:40, Bolingbroke 3:45, Macon here about 3:45 as well. So about another 20 minutes or so until we get kind of the rain headed over for us. Juliet at 4 o'clock, Dublin at 4:11, Gray at 4:12, Soperton at 4:21. So we still have the line of storms that's kind of moving north and east. I can kind of show you on the radar loop. These storms are moving north and east. They're kind of like these outer rain bands. And once this kind of line still moves through, I wouldn't still have the guard down yet, as we still do have that tornado watch that's in effect south and west until 7 o'clock. So getting quite a bit of the lightning strikes out here for a little while. There have been no new updates from the National Weather Service, but there has been actually one storm report from that tornado warn storm about maybe 25 or half an hour ago. Right now we did have one storm report for damage on the east side of Cordele, starting roughly 2 miles south of town on Highway 90. The damage includes downed trees and power lines. So throughout the next few hours, we still could see some of this strong straight line winds or potentially isolated tornadoes that could cause the damage to down some power lines or some trees and cause some issues. But we still do have this one storm report that's out just east of Cordele along 75. So definitely a good idea to still stay weather aware with us here over the next several hours, as we've got this line of storms that will be moving through. Again, the primary threat will be for the damaging winds, but we could see some large hail or isolated tornadoes really throughout the afternoon hours. We should be all good to go really past 10 o'clock. At that point, we could have a few isolated storms, but they'll probably be in an area that isn't exactly favorable for severe development. So over the next few hours, definitely a good idea to keep your eye to the sky. Again, download that WGXA Skywatch weather app, put it in your location so that when a warning or if a warning gets placed over you, it'll immediately tell you, and then you can take the necessary precautions and put that plan into place for when the tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning is issued. Of course, you want to take shelter and get inside away from any of the outdoors to cause that damage and keep yourself safe for us. So yeah, we will continue to watch the storms here for the next little while. And I am trying to, my computer's being a little slow today. I was trying to load up the Facebook to see if I could answer any questions for you all. My computer is not working, unfortunately. So over the next few hours, here's kind of the timing of the storm. So there's the line of storms that's moving through right now. By around 5 o'clock, it's moving over kind of the heart of our viewing area, Upson Crawford County's Monroe, moving down through Bibb County into Twiggs County, down through Bleckley, Northern Dodge, Lawrence County, getting some of those storms and showers, and then it continues to move north and eastward. This will be the most kind of rain, but we could be seeing a few more storms start to pop up, and we do have that tornado watch issue for the next few hours. Eric.
We'll give you a break now, Ryan.
Thank you.
A great job. Yeah, great analysis of those storms. But what we have going on here is we have a warm front that is moving from south to north. And as these storms kind of interact with that warm front, there's enough ingredients in place for these storms to kind of peak up and strengthen pretty quickly. So this is why we had that tornado warning. It happened pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and let's show up our temperatures. And this should show us, yeah, you can see where the warmer area is. Now this is all rain cool there. Rain has already come through here. But Eastman and McRae, 73 and 76, only 70 in Dublin, and then 66 in Irwinton. So this warm front with the warm air, with a lot of moisture associated with that, that's moving off to the north in areas that have a little bit more warmth and moisture, have a little bit more fuel for thunderstorms. And that's kind of where we're seeing these storms right now and where they're peaking. You can kind of see that spark of intensity as those lightning strikes ramped up, but we are starting to see those lightning strikes come down in intensity a little bit as well right now. So Coffee and Jeff Davis County underneath the severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is drifting off to the north and east. And as Ryan was mentioning with that tornado watch, it only extends up toward McRae and Mount Vernon. So areas further north and east, the conditions are less favorable. So as those storms move toward Cochrane, McRae, Mount Vernon, expecting those conditions to deteriorate a little bit and expecting those storms to weaken a little bit. So what we're going to do, Ryan, we're going to kind of regroup and talk about what we're going to do for the shows at 5 and 6 o'clock. We'll have another update on here on social media coming up in about a half hour. So we'll do an update at 4 o'clock. So I'll leave this up here and we will be back around 4 o'clock. All right, for those of us still hanging on to our social media feed, new tornado warning has been issued. This is going to be for Dodge County, just south and east of Abbeville, south and west of Rhine, moving up toward Eastman into Chauncey. And these are going to be, I don't want to say common, but if we see something, this is kind of what it's going to look like. You can see that area of circulation right there, right in between Abbeville and Rhine. Let's just go right ahead and get down to street level. In the back, let me know when we're on TV, please. Copeland, back up toward Adams Springs, Mill Pond Road, John B. McCrane Road, Sycamore Street. If any of these sound familiar to you, if you live in that area, you need to take shelter immediately. Get to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors. Let me, okay, so this is just a radar indicated tornado. And we are already starting to see that area of rotation weaken a little bit. These are going to be pretty quick to happen. So we'll see warnings. How long does this warning go?
Until 4:15.
Until 4:15.
It's moving northeast north at 20 miles per hour.
North at 20. So one warning in our area, and it is a tornado warning, but Coffee and Jeff Davis County, they do have a severe thunderstorm warning until 4 o'clock. But that area of rotation, you can see these individual cells that just kind of have nothing attached to it away from the bigger line and the bigger storms, tapping into a little bit of that environment that is favorable for tornadic development. So let's go ahead and pull up shear and right on the nose of that warning. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Garlick. Thanks for joining us once again on your Thursday afternoon. We do have a tornado warning in place for Dodge County. Here's Abbeville. Here's 117. This is going to be moving due north at 20 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and put a tracker. All right, another tornado warning has just been issued just outside of our area. Move this out of the way, into the Denton area along 221. But this area is moving very close to Abbeville. So let's go ahead and show you where that area of rotation is. There's the area of rotation. Here's 280, going to be crossing 280 very shortly. And we'll put a track on this as these storms are moving off to the north and east. I'm going to go ahead and do it outside of the warning because they're still going to be moving in your direction. So 344 Copeland, 348 Dodge High, Eastman at 348. And we'll see that continue to move off to the north as we go through the rest of the evening. So just going to kind of go to a big picture after we zoom in and show you that area of circulation. I'm going to show shear because that's doing a pretty good job of showing where that area of rotation is, and just go off to the north of it. So here's some of those roads. So Adams Spring Road, right at the intersection of 280 and Sycamore. And let's go up a little bit further north and tell you some other town names. So Ball Adams, Old Abbeville, 230, Mill Pond. Those areas are where the area of circulation is going to be moving. This is really going to move right north up to 30 as it continues to track to the north and east. Let's go back and look at our storm relative velocity. We'll take it back. There was the tornado warning that was issued. Let me move out of the way a little bit. Just to the north and east of Browning, there's 129. There's that area of circulation, those reds and greens right next to each other and drifting off to the north slowly at about 20 miles per hour. I do have meteorologist Ryan Miranda with me. Let's go over to him. And Ryan, what can you tell me? Any updates from the National Weather Service, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, Eric, thanks. So we still do have the tornado warning is out for really southern Dodge County until 4:15. This is a severe thunderstorm, or a storm that is capable of producing a tornado. This is radar indicated. This has not been observed, but you definitely still do want to take this seriously if you live in this area. And what you want to do when there is a tornado warning placed over top of you is you want to get into the most interior room of your home. You want to basically put as many areas between the outdoors and you as possible. So in your home, you really want to get to the areas that are shaded in green here. You want to get an interior hall, a closet, closed off stairwell, bathroom, places that are not having any windows, because when we have the strong winds that move through, the first thing to go are really the windows. Now, if you have a basement, that is always the best option to get underground, but any areas really in green here throughout your house, if you're under the tornado warning, that is what you want to do. And this is in place until 4:15. So about another half hour of the storm that's moving north at around 20 miles per hour. So we are seeing that area of rotation on the radar. We do have the tornado watch that's out into our viewing, some of our viewing area. Those areas shaded in yellow until 7 o'clock. So this is really south of Eastman right now. Eastman, you are not in the tornado warning, but still you're going to be picking up some storms here very soon. So this is our storm relative velocity again. What we are looking for with this tells us how the winds are inside the storm. So the green is moving towards the radar site and the red is moving away. So when you get the greens right next to the reds, that shows that sign of rotation that's possible in the atmosphere just to the east. I think that says 230 north of 280 northwest of Rhine. If you live in this area, you really want to take shelter immediately. Tornado warning, a storm that is capable of producing a tornado was radar indicated. There even could be some quarter-sized hail associated with the storm, so you definitely want to be in your shelter area for the next half hour or so as this tornado warning is in effect. So I can put a little tracker on this right now as this continues to move north at 20 miles per hour. It's not moving very quickly, but it is still moving to the north. So if we put a little tracker on this as it moves quickly to the north over the next half hour here, it doesn't look like any areas are populating in this town, which is some good news, is that this isn't a very densely populated area, it seems. However, let me see if I can get some of the towns on here, just so that we can see something a little bit better here. Let's see, maybe if I extend this a little bit further. Nope, still not seeing anything. That's all right, though. I can still zoom in kind of to street level to show you exactly kind of where these storms will be moving, as this is a tornado warned storm. So this storm is going to be moving north at 20 miles per hour. So it's kind of going to move parallel to 117 just off to the west. So it's just north of Copeland, moving north around 230. This is a storm that is capable of producing a tornado that could cause some damage down some trees. So you definitely do want to take this seriously. So here's that area of rotation. Those greens are right next to the reds: Ball Adams Road, Mill Pond Road, Old Abbeville Road. And this is continuing from the kind of band of rainstorms and showers that we're going to be getting. And that's going to continue for the next few hours as this kind of moves through the heart of our viewing area here over the next little bit. If we do see any more severe thunderstorm warnings, again, the primary threat will be for damaging winds, but we still could get a few more tornado warnings here really until about 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Ryan, tornado watch does go until 7 o'clock. Just wanted to pass along some updates from the National Weather Service as well. We are getting more damage reports coming out of Crisp County in the East Crisp area, or East Cordele area. So those areas dealing with some damage from storms very similar to these. So we do have crews on the way down there, and we're going to try to get some images of that. So National Weather Service also saying rotation has weakened over southern Dodge County, still monitoring, may cancel soon if warning continues. So I think we're going to continue to kind of see this kind of whack-a-mole game through the rest of the afternoon into the evening. We'll see areas pop up, some really quick signs of intensification showing where the area of circulation is on radar, but then dissipating pretty quickly as well. So they will be very quick and short-lived in nature as we go through the afternoon and evening, just the type of setup we're in. These type of outer rain bands that we typically see with this type of setup is what we're going to be monitoring. So Eastman, McRae, over toward Vidalia, this area is going to be the highest concentration for the possibility of severe weather in the immediate future over the next hour to 2. As these storms push off to the north and east, move toward Dublin, move towards 16, we are going to see these storms moving into a more stable environment, and we should see the threat for severe weather come down with that as well. Can't rule it out totally, but it will be it should be a little bit lower than where we are currently seeing it. But area of rotation is weakening in southern Dodge County, and we'll be watching for the National Weather Service to cancel this warning. And I don't see anything that is going to keep them. So target time right now will probably go 3:55 to 4 o'clock for when we'll be able to send it back to regular programming. But we will be watching other areas of rotation as well. Heading up toward Chauncey, we got another little cell that's kind of out on its own. So here's the tornado warned cell. And then we have another area just to the east, miling up toward Chauncey. That's showing some signs of rotation right now, but not a ton of lightning associated with this, and don't need lightning to have tornadoes, but definitely is an indication of how strong those storms could be. And that's what we're seeing here through Coffee and Jeff Davis County as it's moving off to the north and east. Cochrane's starting to see some lightning as well, and that is going to move right up toward Eastman, through McRae, and then up toward Dublin as well. So the good news is we are continuing to see signs of weakening with that area of rotation as well. So I would anticipate the National Weather Service is going to cancel this warning here very shortly. So Ryan, I'm going to toss it to you.
Okay, yeah, thanks, sir. So this has been kind of a band of some showers and storms that has continued to move through. Notice kind of behind me, the band of storms and showers right now moving through Lamar, Monroe counties, all the way down, getting some rain here in Bibb County, stretching all the way down south and west through Telfair and Wheeler counties, where we have some of those tornado warnings. So I put a track on this over the next hour or so as the storms continue to move northeast. Lumber City at 355, Macon at 356, going to get some more of this heavy rain. 409 on Juliet. 431 at Round Oak, 434 at Gray, Soperton 503, Dublin 507, and Milledgeville at 525. So these storms are going to continue to move quickly to the north and east. And on a wider view with satellite and radar, look at this. This is the low pressure cell that's moving over Mississippi, that spin. That's our low pressure. Notice kind of how there's bands of showers and storms that are extending well out to the east. It really is an interesting setup that we've got going on right now. And we can still see the threat for some severe weather as we get through the next few hours. Yesterday, all of our viewing areas under a 1 out of 5 for severe storms, which means we usually could see an isolated storm or two turn severe. For today, we've really bumped it up through areas through Upson County, down through Houston, and down towards Telfair and Wheeler counties. That's a 2. That's darker red. That's a 3, meaning we could be seeing some numerous storms. So the good news is as these storms kind of move to the north and east, they're getting into a less favorable environment for more of that severe activity. You're seeing an isolated tornado or some hailstorms pop up. The primary threat, if we do see any more of the severe thunderstorms, is going to be for damaging winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour, really throughout the afternoon today. By about 10 o'clock or so later, that's when the severe threat will really begin to drop off. We could still see an isolated threat for tornado, and under that is hail as well. Some large hail is possible with some of these storms. So definitely still a good idea to stay weather aware. So we still have the tornado warning that's out for portions of Dodge County, south of Eastman. You still want to be into your safe areas as that warning is still out. But we do have the tornado watch out as for areas through Crawford counties, down through Houston County, down towards Telfair and Wheeler counties, west through Cordele, Crisp, and Sumter counties. So this is a tornado watch. That means the conditions are still favorable for tornadoes to be forming until 7 o'clock, which goes for about another 3 hours. So definitely still not out of the clear yet, Eric.
Yeah, Ryan, just new words coming from the National Weather Service. They are going to continue this warning north of Abbeville up toward Eastman. So enough rotation for them to continue to be concerned with it. And as we look at storm relative velocity, I mean, this is definitely still a rotating storm. I don't see in the next 30 seconds a tornado forming, but next minute and a half, it is possible. So use your severe weather procedure, your severe weather plans, and get to that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors, and take shelter immediately. The storm is moving off pretty much due north. And I have to make sure this, let me redo that. That's set for 50 miles per hour. This will be moving up toward Eastman and Dodge High, 416 and 422. So there's the area of rotation moving pretty much due north. I believe that's 87. Yes, 87 up toward Eastman, 23, 341, 46. All of those roads and intersections is where this area of rotation is heading. So if you do live in those areas, please take this seriously and get to that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors. We do have another cell that we are watching And I'm going to go down there because this is going to eventually move into some of our areas. We'll go ahead and track that. That's going to be moving due north as well. So this is severe thunderstorm warned and tornado warned. So Brooker at 348, Lumber City 421, Spring Hill 439, Long Pond at 457, Mount Vernon at 510, Alley at 513. And that is a storm that has a little bit more energy associated with it, a little bit more of a robust updraft, and that is producing some hail. So if we look at the hail history from this storm, and again, it will be moving into a more favorable environment as it moves north, but picking up hail up to about the size of 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and that's going to be moving right toward Lumber City. So if you have any friends or family in Lumber City, we'll let them know that the storm is heading their way. No warnings for downtown Lumber City at this point, but the southern and southeastern parts of Lumber City, I'm definitely going to have to watch out for that. So just wanted to cover that storm because it is heading toward Lumber City. And as we look at velocity, you can actually see two different areas of rotation here moving right through the Denton area. There's 221, and then another one a little bit further to the north and west, north of 107. And we will see quite a few areas of rotation when we look at velocity data, especially in that area with these storms as they continue to move off to the north and east. So yeah, clear areas of rotation there near Denton, moving up toward Lumber City. A little bit of a pre-warning warning in Lumber City. And let's go back to this area in Dodge County. And I'm just kind of ping-ponging velocity datas and trying to figure out trends with this storm over the last little bit, but still showing signs of rotation, moving closer to 87, and eventually this is going to be moving toward Eastman. As far as the big picture goes, let's go to Ryan Miranda. Ryan, let's get an update kind of with the big picture and what you kind of see coming down the line.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. So right now we still have the rain bands that are moving through our area right now. Not everyone is seeing the rain. Right now, it's really moving through Lamar, through Monroe, Bibb County, down through Twiggs, Houston County, really getting the heavy lightning through Pulaski and through Dodge County and south and west, really for Wheelfair and Telfair and Wheeler counties about to get hit with a lot of that lightning strike right now. So I kind of zoom this up a little bit. Still seeing the tornado warning that's in effect through southern Dodge County. Eastman, you are not in that, but still seeing some signs of rotation. And the biggest storm they're watching is out of our viewing area just to the south and west of Telfair counties. So still something to keep an eye on, but through Montezuma, Americus, Cordele, not getting hit with the rain at this moment. And north and east through Milledgeville, Sandersville, Sparta, not getting any of that rain. This kind of band of showers and storms is moving pretty much due north, a little bit to the north and east. They're not moving very quickly, about 20 miles per hour or so. So I can give this a track for how these storms will continue to fire north and east. The good news with this is that the further it moves north and east, it's moving into a less favorable environment for severe storms to be firing up. So over the next 2 hours or so, as this moves north and east, Macon still kind of getting hit with the rain right now, 403, 418 for Cadwell, Juliet 418, Jeffersonville 442, Gray at 451, Dublin 457. We're going to see some of the rain. Monticello at 502, Shady Dale at 535, Wrightsville at 541, and Edenton at 603. So continue to stay weather aware for the next few hours with us as we could see more of the severe storms begin to pop up. We do have that one tornado warning for our area right now that's in portions of southern Dodge County for us. And if you Okay, yes. So if you are just joining us now, welcome. We want to give you kind of the big picture of what's still going on. We got the tornado warning that's out for Dodge County until 4:15. If you live in this area, if you still do want to take shelter, download the WGXA News app. Take us with you as you go into your safe area. Stream us on your phone so that you can hear exactly what we're saying. This is still for Dodge County. We do have this other storm that we're really keeping an eye on through southern counties and kind of continue to move through. Okay, so that tornado warning has now dropped for Dodge County. So some good news is that we're seeing that area of rotation begin to broaden. So not any signs of a tornado being on the ground at this point. You should be all safe to come out of the area. That rain should be exiting out of your areas as well for Dodge County soon. But we're still keeping a close eye on this tornado warning. south of Telfair County's area.
Yeah, Ryan, thanks for that. And want to welcome you all. It's 4 o'clock here, and you're watching WGXA News. We are going to continue to monitor this line of storms, really one line of storms moving through the area as we go through the afternoon. Control room, we'll shoot for 4:05. Going to kind of monitor this storm moving toward our area to see exact kind of motion on this as it moves. It's kind of moving more east northeast, and it should stay east of Lumber City. But we'll be watching that closely as well. So let's shoot for 4:05, and then we'll kind of jump off and show you that. But looking down the pipeline, just going to go ahead and loop this. So we had these storms moving from south to north as we went through the day. One tornado warning there still for, I believe that's Jeff Davis County. Storms trying to form where these storms already moved through. They're going to have a hard time doing that, just losing energy, losing steam as we move back toward Columbus. They haven't had much in the way of rain and thunderstorm activity. So that is where we will be watching for some more thunderstorms coming. And also wanted to, let me throw this up. So this is new information from the Storm Prediction Center on their outlook. So this is level 1 and this is level 2. So we've got rid of the level 3 threat for severe weather. And this does kind of take into account for the last couple of hours where we did have that watch and those storms moving through. But still, Montgomery back toward Columbus. I think as this line continues to progress off to the north, we will start to see our severe weather threat coming down a little bit. Not going to give the all clear just yet because these storms are trying to form. And if we get enough sunshine and enough heating of the day, we could see those storms firing back up and potentially producing some severe weather. So want to give a quick recap. So we do have a tornado watch in place for parts of Middle Georgia. And we're actually starting to see some of that watch expiring down across Southwest Georgia. So that could be a good sign that we're going to start to see this area that is underneath that tornado watch kind of shrinking as we go through the evening. But Mount Vernon, McRae, Eastman, Cochran, Perry, Warner Robins, and Roberta, all underneath that tornado watch. This does go until 7 o'clock this evening, and we do have thunderstorms on the board right now, and that is what we're monitoring. Let's load this, and we'll show you where those storms are. So it looks like they extended. Now that severe thunderstorm warning was the same, but Jeff Davis until 4:30. So they went with a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm rather than a tornado warning. But those are really the only two warnings in the state right now. That tornado warning does expire at 4:15, and the severe thunderstorm warning does expire at 4:30. So we'll be watching. These storms are kind of drifting a little bit more east than north, but we will be watching them as they move toward McRae, Lumber City, and Soperton as well. For now, though, we'll return you back to your regular programming. Meteorologist Ryan Mirando and I thank you for joining us, and we'll keep you posted as the evening goes on. And join us for our news on Fox 24 at 5 o'clock. All right, thanks everyone for sticking with us on digital. We are going to take a quick break, and we're going to try to get Ryan out into the field and get some damage reports. Crisp County getting multiple reports of damage in Crisp County as well. So we're going to huddle up offside of the camera, and we'll be back for an update here very, very shortly, probably about a half hour. We'll shoot for 4:30, and then we'll do another update as needed as we move toward the show at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to put this up here, and we will be back in about a half hour. Tornado warning. All right, thanks for everybody sticking with us. A new tornado warning has just been issued. Is anybody back in the back? What county? It's going to be Bleckley until 4:45. New tornado warning for Bleckley County until 4:45. This is going to be moving right through the city of Cochrane. So if you are in Cochrane, need to move to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors. Let's go ahead and look at storm relative velocity. Let's show you where, okay, so really two areas of rotation, but this is what that warning was issued for. This is moving right toward Cochrane, and you can actually see maybe two different areas of rotation there, and then more broad circulation off to the north and west of that initial tornado warning. So as we mentioned, these happen very quickly, and I'm just going to go ahead and look back through this and show you. So those storms were rotating. They ramped up pretty quick. This is a pretty tight couplet. So you can see not a whole lot of area. There's no area between the red and green, and it is a pretty narrow location. So that is what we talk about when we talk about storm relative velocity, gate-to-gate shear. And if you click on the right pixel, you show some rotation. So velocity is only 11 miles an hour, but you have 32 miles an hour of rotation. Okay, that was just a reissue of that warning. All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Garlick, and it's going to be one of those afternoons where you're going to see a lot of us here at WGXA, and we do have a new tornado warning issued for Bleckley County. This goes until 4:45. So you can see the areas that it does include. Cochrane. If you are in Cochrane, you need to move to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors immediately. Take shelter, put those severe weather precautions into place, and watch these storms from a safe place. Go ahead and download the app. You can join us on Facebook, YouTube, and of course on air now. But this storm is moving off to the north and east at about 20 miles per hour. And let me check on... This is moving to the north at 20 miles per hour. So a fairly slow moving system. Didn't show much in the way of organization. And I'm going to show our debris signature as well. So Cochrane at 420, Porter at 423, Royal at 428, and 442 for Cary as well. So not showing great signs of rotation. But let's go back and look at the, okay. So this is what the National Weather Service saw, and this is interesting. Really showing a couple different areas of a correlation coefficient drop or a CC drop, and this is the reason why they issued that tornado warning. So radar is capable of picking up on debris or foreign objects up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that is heading right toward Cochrane. And you can see those greens popping up, and that is what we call a potential tornado debris signature, or TDS for short. But that's interesting how elongated that is, and it does line up with where the winds are. So if you notice the shape of that correlation coefficient drop, that is really mimicking that leading edge of wind. So green is into the radar. The radar's up north in Jeffersonville. So the winds are moving this way. Inflow, rotation, and then potentially a little bit of a gust front. It could have produced a little gustnado. And that is some of the debris that we were seeing. I don't anticipate them staying with this very long, but you can see the area of circulation that was tight that I talked about, that tight couplet or area of rotation on our Doppler winds, really showed up very quickly, right about there. Bailey's Park, and let me just go north a little bit. Mac Thompson Road, 257. That is where we did see potentially some of that debris getting lofted into the upper levels of the atmosphere. So Fraser to the south and west of you, north and east of Mobley Crossing, up toward Mac Thompson Road. That is where that potential tornado debris signature is kind of showing up. But look at how quickly this area in particular just kind of dissipates. Not a textbook picture of a couplet, but something potentially doing damage on the ground. So that's why the National Weather Service went ahead and issued that warning. Okay. Even if we don't... yes. Okay. Yeah. All right, so tornado warning goes until 4:45, and we're going to be with you through the 5 o'clock hour. So for those of you wanting to see Family Feud, we have more of that coming up after our show. That'll be on at 6 o'clock, and then ABC 16, we are going to be taking our coverage up toward 5 o'clock as well. So tornado warning in place. This is going to go until 4:45. This does include Bleckley County, and let's put a storm motion on this. And that's going to be off to the north and east as well. Who's in my ear in the back right now? Lauren, if we can get Arena's shot up when she gets damaged, let me know, and we'll go out to Arena and maybe get an update from her as well. And once Ryan gets situated on the road, we can take him as well. So we'll kind of throw those three elements into our coverage as we lead up to the 5 o'clock hour. So getting reports of damage today from some of these storms. That'll go away. But times of arrival, Cochrane 420. So it's moving toward Cochrane right now. If it's on the ground, you need to be in your shelter right away. Cary at 441, Fitzpatrick 520, Irwinton at 535, McIntyre at 539 as well. So we'll be watching all of these storms, in particular two. We do have two tornado warnings on the board right now, one in Bleckley County and then one in Jeff Davis County. That is moving off to the northeast. That's going to head up toward Vidalia, and then eventually up toward I-16 as well. You can kind of see on radar, though, the rain moving into Dublin. If we can pull up the Dublin camera, that would be great. But we're going to see rain coming down in Dublin, kind of a dreary, cloudy condition, overcast skies. That is going to help limit the potential for tornadoes as this moves off to the north and east. But that one in Cochrane, potentially doing some damage. No confirmation on that as well. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't, the way this system is set up, and National Weather Service confirming that it doesn't take textbook velocity signatures in these type of almost pseudo-tropical systems in order to get some rotation into a tornado to form. And right now we're thinking we might have some damage in the Cochrane area as well. So let's go ahead and pull up that Dublin camera. That's going to be looking, I believe, south and west, and I can pan that around a little bit. But that is what is coming toward Dublin, and there's not a ton of storm structure with this. And you'll start to see it moving here very shortly. And I'm just going to kind of pan around. And that's going to be looking more west and then eventually northwest. So let's go back and we'll pan the skies and see. That should be looking right toward the area where that tornado warning has been issued. So let's go back to radar. max 1, and we will show you just how far away that area of rotation is. So right now it's about 22 to 25 miles away from our Dublin camera, and that's going to be looking back to the south and west. So not very ominous, stormy looking clouds, but enough of a concern that the National Weather Service has issued. Okay, that's starting to ramp up quite a bit. This is really starting to ramp up and going to be moving right through downtown Cochrane right now. So here's 23, there's 126. If you're by 126 and 26 or 23 heading out of town, this area of rotation is going to be capable of producing a tornado at any moment. Please use your safety precautions when it comes to severe weather. I'm going to go right in here and we'll start naming off some street names. So this is going to be moving, one more click down, Daisy Adams Road, 26 Williams Road, Jones Road. These areas need to take cover immediately. This storm is approaching and it still has significant signs of rotation as it's moving through the Cochrane area. Let's go back. Let's throw up the tornado debris signature. Okay. Yeah, getting a little bit of a correlation coefficient drop or a potential TDS signature with that. And you can see that moving right into the Cochrane area. Again, it doesn't have to be textbook as well. So, hey, Jeff. So here's Ash Street. There's 23. There's 26. There's 126. So this is going to be moving off to the north at about 20 miles per hour and going to continue really up toward Cary. Area of rotation. Okay, so it is now a confirmed tornado per the National Weather Service. Observed. So we do have confirmation that this is a tornado on the ground producing damage. So move to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors immediately. This is going to be moving right up 26 and some significant signs of rotation with this storm. Let me, so velocity in this system is 65 miles per hour. So there's a lot of wind feeding into this system. We got winds out of the east southeast that's feeding into the rotation, and this is really ramping up in intensity right toward 23 and 26. This is moving through the Cochrane area right now. So if you are in Cochrane and you did take shelter and you're watching us, this is going to be passing just to the north of you right now. Hang tight for just a little bit, and this should be passing over, and we can give you the all clear. It's raining. It's coming down really good. But that area of circulation, it's going to be a rain wrap tornado. You are not going to see this as it moves off to the north and east. There's 26. And guys in the back, I don't know if you can see the Dublin camera or not, but if you can, just kind of keep an eye on that. And let me know if you do see anything. But this area of rotation is going to be wrapped in rain, and you're not going to see it. So let's go back to storm relative velocity. And again, really starting to see some significant signs of rotation in this mesocyclone moving right across 26 right now. There's a new radar update coming to us right now. We're going to have to stay with this for quite some time. Let's go back to debris signature. So one of the things that we kind of look for when we look at this product, it shows us debris that might be getting lofted into the atmosphere, but we have to kind of go back and forth between, so there was potentially a little bit of debris right there, right along 26, but this is where the area of rotation is. So this could be a false reading of debris. This one correlates very well with the area of rotation, and we'll go right to current time. And not seeing any major signs of debris being lofted into the atmosphere as well. Another issue with looking at debris, as we get closer to the radar site, the radar beam isn't looking quite as high. If debris is getting lofted 15, 20,000 feet into the air, you won't see it on this product. But definitely looking at a significant area of rotation right here. This is going to be 26, and I'm going to zoom right in and do some new street names with that new radar update. And don't worry about where the area of circulation is. This is where it's going. Sparrow Road, 26, the intersection of DeVoe and then Royal Phillips Road. This area of rotation is moving right your direction. Yeah, it's observed. Potential tornado debris signature. Very interesting tornado debris signature. Let's go back and look at that. But still some significant signs of rotation. So if we go back a little bit, Jeff, look at this. It's debris being picked up right along the really gust front, kind of the inflow, potentially rear flank downdraft, and really not picking up on it. And I'll go back and do this again, and for folks at home. So there's when the tornado warning was issued, because signs of debris. Let me move this up. This sign of debris right here, right near Bailey's Park, up toward Fraser. And then this moved up toward Cochrane pretty quickly. And you can see the debris being picked up and then right along the gust front from Fraser back up toward Cochrane. And I'll show you this on winds as well. The debris kind of stuck with that wind and then kind of dissipated. But let's go back and look at storm relative velocity. And I'm not seeing as tight a couplet. There's definitely some rotation in this mesocyclone, but the area of rotation, that tight couplet, and I'll go back and show you what I mean by tight couplet when that warning was issued. But you can see that area of debris that we had right near Bailey's Park. Look at this little circle. So here's your inflow. Here's the gust front, down flank, and then that is where that debris was being picked up and lofted kind of into the air. And then still a pretty tight couplet as it moved through Cochrane. I'm not getting any confirmation on damage, but observed tornado. So we see the colors of the warnings switch. So right now, they took the observed tag off of this. No longer seeing debris lofted into the atmosphere, but we see this color change when we do see a confirmed tornado. And we did have that not too long ago. But the area of circulation is starting to broaden out. And I think this is moving a little bit more northeast. So this is going to be, I think, moving more toward the Goldsboro area, in between Cary and Goldsboro. I think if they do issue an update on this warning, they'll shift that off to the north and east a little bit. But let's go ahead and put a time on this. So Cary at 4:44, Allentown at 4:58 as well. So if you are in those areas, you need to take shelter, get to that interior room of your house away from windows and doors. Just want to check down toward Lumber City. We mentioned that storm earlier. Again, Hazelhurst, this is moving east of Lumber City, as I was thinking it was going to. I think it should stay east of 221, if not right along that. So those are our fringe counties, and friends and family live there. So I want to keep a close eye on that. That's going to move up toward Tombs Central, and again, kind of east of 221. So just wanted to do a quick update on that storm. But let's go back to Cochrane. And I'm going to switch products here. Man, there's going to be some nasty winds with this storm. They took the observed tag off of it, as you can see, but a couple different areas of rotation. These tropical systems or tropical-like systems, just it's whack-a-mole. You have them, and then they ramp up very quickly, do some damage, and then they dissipate pretty quickly. But this area right on the edge of that tornado warning, I'm going to go ahead and query this. Yes, it's just north of Cochrane now, but look at these winds, 55 miles per hour. So let me reset, and I'll show you in the back. So this tornado warning in Bleckley County goes until 4:45. Cochrane is no longer included in that tornado warning. They're kind of shaving the back edge off of it, but we'll get right down into that area of rotation. And I'm going to switch this so you can see that a little better. So here's Cochrane on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Area of rotation is a few miles north and east of Cochrane now. But again, kind of moving up toward Goldsboro. I wouldn't be surprised if we have damage outside of the tornado threat just because of how strong these winds are. Very, very significant area of wind being pumped into this storm and helping it spin, I should say. But looking back on it, look at how quick this ramped up. So this was at 4:15. I'll move this back up just a touch. This was at 4:15. Really no signs of anything there, but by 4:20, we start to see a very significant tornado signature on our velocity product moving right over Cochrane and moving off to the north and east. So in just a matter of minutes, that went from really showing no signs of rotation to showing some significant signs of rotation. And we are starting to see that broaden. Let's see if we can pick that up with our shear tracker as well. So let's go back a little bit. Again, nothing showing up. 4:15, 4:20, we really start to see it, and just kind of drifting off to the north and east and weakening as it does so. But again, this area of rotation will be rain wrapped. You're not going to see a tornado in it because of all the rain coming down. And as I mentioned with that debris signature, so we are only 15 miles away from the radar site, and the radar beam shoots at about a 1/2 degree angle. So every 10 miles or so, we go up about 1,000 feet. So that radar beam is only looking at 1,000 to 1,500 feet. So if there's debris above it, you're not going to see the debris showing up on the correlation coefficient, and we aren't. So this product helps in medium to long range situations from radar. But the good news is the radar beam is shooting into the lower levels of the atmosphere where you typically see a tornado form. So the velocity product is definitely better to use in this situation to show us if there's any areas of rotation that we are concerned with and that we have to deal with. So still showing some very strong winds. So storm relative velocity and velocity, the difference is storm motion. The storm motion is eliminated from the equation when we look at our velocity product. That is still there, but I'm just going to go back a touch, and you can see some of these stronger winds. I'm going to try to pick one of these that are strongest. So winds with the storm, 66 miles per hour is what the radar is showing. And that is, again, very capable of doing damage on its own without a tornado. But the issue with those winds, it's feeding into an area of rotation. So the area of rotation is here. So you start pumping stronger winds into the front end of that. And that is where we're going to get that area of rotation right near Cary-Salem Road. That pocket of damaging winds is going to be moving right up toward Salem Road as well. So, okay, National Weather Service going with a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Bleckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County, and that's going to go until 5:15. So this storm is going to continue to move off to the north and east, and we're going to see this move into the I-16 corridor very, very quickly. I'm going to stick with velocity again, showing an area of rotation, but starting to see that come down in intensity, at least in the storm relative. So let me read the verbiage on this. Tornado possible, of course. 60-mile-an-hour winds. So those winds up at about 1,500 feet or so could be pulled down to the surface and do some damage. So not getting any reports of damage near Cochrane. If you do have reports of damage, please let us know via social media. You can email the station. You can email me. Just get that information to us so we can pass that along to the National Weather Service as well. So, Lauren, any update on Arena or Ryan? Is Ryan up and driving? Okay. Are they up and driving though? Okay. All right. When they get up and going, let me know. So yeah, broad area of some very strong. Go ahead, Lauren. All right. So there's Cary-Salem Road. That pocket of winds is going to be. Okay. Crisp County update. Trees blocked, blocking Highway 41, Highway 90, and US 280, and other small side roads. Power lines were damaged as well. So there is some damage in Crisp County. If you can see if anybody can call Bleckley County EMA and see if we can confirm any damage in Cochrane. Still watching that tornado warning as well. This storm is going to be moving out of this tornado warned area very, very, very quickly. So that tornado warning is set to expire at 4:45, but that area of rotation right now is moving through the Cary area and eventually going to move up toward Jeffersonville and Danville, moving closer and closer to radar. So we'll get a better picture of what's happening at the lower levels of the surface. Let's go ahead and take Ryan's picture. So this is what it looks like on I-16. Meteorologist Ryan Mirando is heading into these storms, into that tornado warned storm near Cochrane. And I don't know if Ryan can hear me or not, but if somebody can let him know, try to pick that storm up on I-16 near Cary, and be careful because that storm is packing a pretty good wallop with those winds near 60. All right, and they're headed to Jeffersonville, Danville to intercept. Okay, yep, perfect. Jefferson, Danville is a target area. Would love an update. Jeff, can we get him to talk? Can we get, is Ryan mic'd up? Or can we get a phoner? I mean, we can get a phoner. So that's our shot from meteorologist Ryan Mirando. He's going to be on I-16 heading south and east, and he's going to be shooting for the Jefferson-Danville area and trying to get a good visual of this storm as it moves up toward Danville and Montrose, drifting a little bit to the east side of that tornado warning. I don't think we'll see a new tornado warning issued, but at this point, we're going to stay with this storm until 5 o'clock, especially with that new severe thunderstorm warning issued as well. But again, this is going to be rain wrapped. There's going to be a lot of rain coming down around that area of circulation. So you will not be able to see areas of rotation. Unfortunately, if it does do damage, you will be able to see that for obvious reasons. As we move off to the south and east, still watching. This is going to be a new tornado warning that was just issued as well, just outside of our areas. Appling in Jeff Davis County until 5 o'clock is that tornado warning. And we'll go ahead and put up shear tracker as well. So area of rotation here. So green is in, red is away. There's that area of circulation moving right up toward Falling Rocks, east of Tallahassee, 221. And you can kind of see that tornado, the old tornado warning and the new one has it pushing and moving a little bit further to the east. So we'll be watching that storm as well, but I think that will be moving east of 221 and moving toward Toombs Central. We'll be watching that storm, and then we have the other area of circulation that I'm really shear is still showing up. There's still quite a bit of shear on the cell that's moving right toward Cary, right toward 112, 278. So that is going to be an area of concern at least through 5:15. So another half hour, 40 minutes on this severe thunderstorm warning. But that area of rotation is approaching the edge of the tornado warning. So that area of circulation really right into the Cary area right now. So there's the green in, red away, rotation, 112. No reports of damage coming into us yet from Cochrane or Cary, even though we saw what looked like a tornado debris signature on the system. Okay. All right. We have meteorologist Ryan Mirando, who is out on I-16 heading toward this storm, moving through Cary into Danville and Jeffersonville. Ryan, some rain coming down where you are. How's the lightning and what are you seeing?
Yeah, Eric, we're not hearing too much lightning right now. It's mostly just heavy rain for us. We can barely see almost maybe a mile in front of us. The rain is coming down. The skies are completely gray. We aren't seeing a lot of lightning or thunder, luckily, right here. We are moving on I-16. Let me check exactly kind of where we are. But right now, not seeing too much heavy lightning and thunder, just getting a lot of the heavy rain for right now. Let me check exactly. So we're south and west of Jeffersonville, continuing to move eastward. We're kind of closest to the exit near Bullard Road and continuing to move south and east, getting closer towards Dublin here. Luckily, not too much that heavy rain, or not too much of the lightning and thunder out for us right now. It's mostly just heavy rain. Definitely kind of taking it slow in the car here to make sure that we're staying safe as we kind of keep driving down here. We're trying to get close enough to more of the heavier storms to show you exactly kind of how powerful this rain could be, but right now in the car we're just driving and getting closer to the storms, but not much in the way of lightning and thunder right now.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan. And Jeff, I know we're working. Arena's down there. She's confirmed damage.
Not widespread.
Okay.
She hadn't seen anything dramatic yet.
Okay. All right. Even if we can get just some pictures to show on air, that'd be great. And if you have pictures at home and it's safe to do so, please pass those along to us as well. But tornado warning does continue in Bleckley County. Okay, a tornado watch. So the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center are expanding the watch. Let me see if I can get some information on that.
Extended tornado watch.
Okay, so time is until 7, just expanded in area. So as I was mentioning earlier, conditions are becoming more favorable for tornado development. Soperton, Dublin, Wrightsville, Irwinton, Sandersville, Milledgeville, Gray, Macon, Bibb, Warner Robins, Cochrane, now all included in this tornado watch. That does go until 7 o'clock. Still, the potential for these storms to become strong and even tornadic as we go through the evening as well. So let's look at the big picture. I'm going to so there's our tornado watch, and it does include really all of Middle Georgia. Forsyth and Thomaston, Monticello, Sparta, Eatonton not included in this. Let's go back to radar. Okay, they expired the tornado warning for, let's just do a quick overview with this. So severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag in the lingo. Jeffersonville, Danville, Cary, Bleckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County. This goes until 5:15. That's going to be for that area of rotation that we did see move right through the Cochrane area, moving right into Cary right now, moving into Danville as well. As we move a little bit further to the south and east, I told you we were watching that other area of rotation. So we do have a tornado warning. This is going to be for Toombs County. This goes until 5:15. The Appling and Jeff Davis tornado warning goes until 5 o'clock. So right on our edge. Some people could be getting our signal or watching on social media. So we want to try and keep everybody. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah, so we have an update from damage in Crisp County. Just let me know when you're going to roll it, and I will toss to that. But severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, all right, let's go to that update with the damage in Crisp County, and here it is.
County, not confirmed yet by National Weather Service, but it caused some damage. Trees were blocking Highway 41, Highway 90, US 280, Pena Road, and some other small side roads such as Old Hatley in the community. Please, as you travel this afternoon, be careful. You can see that numerous people are out working to clear the roadways and the power lines. So as you make your way around Chris County this afternoon, expect some delays.
There quite a bit of trees down as well as some power lines. You can see those trees snapped. They're looking at some crews trying to clear roadways. This happened very, very quickly in Crisp County, and it's the type of setup that we're in. So I appreciate that update from the Crisp County Sheriff's Office and the deputies out there working. We have a crew down there looking for some of that damage, and we'll bring you stories on that storm that moves through the area coming up here very shortly. So still a couple tornado warnings just outside of Middle Georgia technically, but again, Appling and Jeff Davis until 5 o'clock and Toombs until 5:15. The other storm that we are watching right now, this is going to be moving through Buckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County, really at the intersection of those counties right along 16 as well. I'm assuming we have some power outages in Crisp County based on power lines being down. If we could get numbers on that, that would be great. And if there's any other as well. Let me see. I can pull that up. Okay, so we do have some power outages in Crisp County, and it looks like about 500 people, or quick math, about 20% of Crisp County without power right now. And I'm not showing anything else. Let me go up toward Bleckley County. I'm sorry, that was in Bleckley County. So Bleckley County, we have about 5,000 without power. Crisp County, not showing much in the way of power outages. So control room, if we can try to find out where the power outages are in Bleckley County, we could maybe get some confirmation on where some damage is, and maybe send a crew to that area. So did have that storm move through Crisp County, and then eventually up through Bleckley County, moving into Cary with some damaging winds as well. So with the power outages starting to ramp up and show up, that was definitely debris in our tornado debris signature function, and we'll have to get that confirmed on just what was damaged. But severe thunderstorm warning, this goes until 5:15 for Bleckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County. That does include Danville. One thing we haven't seen a lot of today is hail. There is a little bit of hail showing up just to the north of Cary, maybe some pea-size hail moving up toward Danville as well. Montrose included in that. And these storms are drifting off to the north and east. That storm moving into... Okay.
5 o'clock, ABC will go back to regular.
Okay. Yep. All right. And just an update, forward thinking, at 5 o'clock, ABC 16, we will go over to regular programming, and we will continue storm coverage on Fox 24. So if you want to join us there, please do so and change your TV to Fox 24. But again, 2 pockets of hail that we are kind of... Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up. We're going to pull up the Georgia Power map and show you where we do have some damages. So that looks like just northeast of Middle Georgia State University in Cochran, up toward Bleckley High School, Bleckley Elementary, and Bleckley Middle School is where that storm kind of tracked. So these are areas If we can get a crew to Cochrane or talk to somebody in the Cochrane area to see what kind of damage was done, but tracking some significant power outages in the Cochrane area as those storms moved through. So we'll be updating you on damage and continuing to be kind of forward thinking with this. So let's go back to weather 1. We'll talk about our tornado watch. This is going to be until 7 o'clock. I'll step off for you. This is going to go until 7 o'clock. This does include now Macon, Bibb, Roberta, Gray, Milledgeville, Sandersville, Irwinton, Wrightsville, Soperton, Dublin, Jeffersonville, Danville, Eastman, McRae, Mount Vernon. Now, we will likely start to see some of these counties unshaded, so the threat will come down. But looking at radar, the bulk of this line right now is going to be from Eastman, McRae, back up toward Dublin, and those are the 2 most potent storms that we do have right now. And you can see those storms kind of down toward Dougherty County and Albany having some trouble sustaining themselves as they move off to the north and east. All right, yeah, let's go out to Ryan. Ryan, let me know where you are and what you're seeing. You're probably starting to see a little uptick in lightning as that storm approaches you.
Yeah, Eric, we have seen some more lightning being picked up. We just got off the exit for Danville along I-16 here. I'm above the bridge. Down below there, that is I-16. There is such low visibility here. We're getting that blinding rain. There's still not a ton of lightning, but we have seen quite a few strikes. People are driving very slowly on the roads. We, along with a few other people, had our blinkers out. Notice down below there, we're already getting some pockets of some heavy rain and a little bit of kind of cooling across the water. We were hydroplaning a bit on the road. There goes a lightning strike that we're seeing out here. We are in the severe thunderstorm warned box here, just off the exit for Danville along I-16. There goes a truck with his blinkers on. It's a little hard to see here through the window. He's going with his blinkers, driving very slowly. We are getting definitely the blinding rain. If you know anyone that's driving along I-16, definitely give them a call and tell them to take it slow. We're getting a lot of heavy downpours out here. You can just see it coming down here on the car, just how much blinding rain is. The car is driving also with their blinkers on. It's definitely a very wet day out here for Thursday along I-16. We're going to continue to kind of follow this through and see if we can find some more of the kind of heavier downpours, but definitely everyone's taking it on slow on the roads here with all these heavy downpours.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan. And I believe you're right by the Mount Zion Baptist Church there, right on that exit where you guys are stopped. I didn't see any hail or hear any hail coming off the video, but if we zoom in, this is a little pocket of hail moving right through Cool Springs Road 16, right up toward Allentown as well. So if you are in those areas, a little bit of hail, some very heavy rainfall, and even a few lightning strikes with that storm. So you can kind of see what that is what that storm is going to bring to you as that moves off to the north and east as well. So still a couple tornado warnings. That's going to be for Toombs. Let me go ahead and just, it's hard to keep track of all of these warnings, and a new one was just issued. So Toombs County, the tornado warning until 5:15. That tornado warning in Appley and Jeff Davis County is expiring. And then we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for Tattnall County until 5:45. Again, those storms are moving east and moving away from middle Georgia. But family and friends live in that area, so we want to cover that as well. And we are on social. So severe thunderstorm warning, Bleckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County. This does go until 5:15. So these storms have been producing damage. We have that new severe thunderstorm warning that continues until 5:15. But we also have a few of those tornado warnings. Let's clear that off. As far as the line of storms go, we should start to see that tornado watch box start to be shrinking as counties get out of the threat for severe weather. So this line taking some time to get through middle Georgia. And right now, the one potent storm moving right through the Jefferson, Cary, Danville areas right now. And we just got a new radar update. So let's go ahead and show you. This is very close to the radar as well. So we are going to see an area of rotation moving through Danville right now. And again, Ryan, okay, let's go back to Ryan. All right, let's go to Raina. She's down in Crisp County where we did see some damage. Raina, what can you tell us?
Crisp County, where we have down power lines with a family who had about 3 trees down, about 40-foot trees down in their yard. Power's out. In terms of just some of the destruction I've seen, trees topple down, power lines out, a lot of pine cones on the street. And this street, I'm trying to get a visual, by Old Hatley Road. And Georgia Highway 90, the road is closed right by the intersection. You have power crews out here saying it'll be a while before people get power. Right now I'm seeing 2 more power trucks making it over 6 power trucks out here right by Old Hatley Road, just trying to work to get power restored for the families in Crisp County. I'll continue to give you guys updates so far on what we know about the destruction happening here. And check in with the Skywatch weather team for any more information on the tornado that touched down here.
All right, Raina, thank you for that. Appreciate that update. And just want to talk about storm relative velocity as well. And we are starting WGXA News at 5 o'clock right now. But let's look at that area of rotation. This is going to be crossing over 16 right now, and this is going to be US 112. There's Cool Springs Road. Montrose is behind me, and this is moving off to the north and east. So we are going to be starting our 5 o'clock news here very, very shortly. ABC 16, we will be going to regular programming, and Fox 24, we will continue with your storm coverage. So if you're watching us on ABC 16, pop over to Fox 24, and you'll get more updates on the damage that happened. But we will have ABC 16 news at 6 o'clock as well. So just kind of a big overview. We are going to be looking at more storms as we head through the evening, and I'm going to toss it over to Amanda Peralta to get us started for our newscast here on Fox 24. Amanda.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you for watching WGXA News at 5. I'm Amanda Peralta, and Greg Lloyd has the night off. Now, Eric, we were talking about how all the danger that's out there right now and what people can expect. Now, what do we really need to know, and what should people continue to keep in mind as we now start this newscast?
Well, Amanda, we do have a couple warnings still in Middle Georgia. Tornado warnings are all just outside of Middle Georgia at this point, but we do have one severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be for Bleckley, Lawrence, Twiggs, and Wilkinson County. This is going to go until 5:15, and we are going to be watching this storm in particular. This is the biggest area of concern on radar right now that we are seeing, and this is going to be moving through the McIntyre area off to the north and east as we go through the evening. We do have meteorologist Ryan Miranda out there right now. Let's go to meteorologist Ryan Miranda for an update on where he is and what he's seeing. Ryan?
Yeah, thank you, Eric. We're along I-16 East. We just passed exit 32 here. We're getting a lot of blinding rain. Since last time we talked, the winds have really began to pick up. Besides the heavy torrential downpour of rain, notice here as we're crossing underneath the exit here, people are already parked along the road. We can't see anything really in front of us. The visibility is down very far. Look how much ponding is already out onto the road. We're getting the heavy downpours of rain. As we're driving, see, we're kind of got a little bit of a pile up here. Be careful as we're driving through. A lot of the blinkers on. We're picking up some heavy downpours of rain right now. We can barely see in front of us. I don't know if you can barely see well out in front of us there. Everyone's got their blinkers on. About 10 cars ahead of us. We can barely even see We're going about 30 miles per hour just to show you how slow we're taking this just because of all the heavy downpours that we have. We are in part of the severe thunderstorm warning on I-16 that just passed over Allentown and Montrose. Oh, look at all of this. These are all these cars that are parked out here. They're waiting out the storm. Wow. Look at all of these cars. They are parked out here with their blinkers on for the side of the road, waiting out for the storm to pass over. We are inside of the severe thunderstorm warning, but a lot of people are taking it slow, taking it cautiously, which is very good. Notice down there in the ditch as well, got a little bit of the ponding already out inside the road here, Eric. We'll continue to update you as we continue to move on, but everyone's taking it very slow in here with all this rain. Arena, we're going to toss it to you as well down in Fort Deal. How's it looking for down there?
Yeah, Ryan. Right now I'm by Georgia Highway 90 and Old Hatching Road in Crisp County. You can see the sun is shining right now, but of course this is a very different scene that we're used to. Roads closed. You have road closures going on. If you take a look, I'm going to step behind my camera and just pivot you to what we're seeing right now. And get a zoom. You can see power crews are out working, trying to restore power of a tornado from a tornado that touched down here earlier today. You can see crews are out here. I spoke with some of them. They said it's going to be a little bit of time before power is restored for families that are here. Now, I spoke with a family who had about 3 or 4 trees down, about 40-foot tall trees into their yard. Luckily, everybody was safe. No one was harmed, so that's a good thing. They told me that they just want to send their prayers out to anybody that was affected. They are safe, so that's obviously a good thing. You see cars here proceeding with caution, trying to find another route as they make their way out and about Crisp County. But right now, the road by Georgia Highway 90 is closed to give access to power crews who are trying to restore the power right now. Now I'll send things over to those in our Skywatch weather team for any more updates. Reporting live in Crisp County, Irene Plunkett, WGXA News.
Thank you so much, Irena, and our thoughts and prayers are with those families out there in Crisp County as they hope to continue staying safe. Now is a great time to download the WGXA weather app to keep track of those severe storms down to street level. Eric is back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast and any updates there may be on the severe weather. Continuing coverage tonight on Mark Taylor after videos have surfaced with him making racist comments. Reactions are still pouring out about the athletic coach who has worked with children in the area, many of which are Black. Tonight, our Brianna Cook and Carlos Stevens take a closer look. And Brianna, you were there for the NAACP press conference today. What did they say?
Amanda, they said that they're calling on the GBI to investigate Mark Taylor and what they say is a hate speech.
Let it be known that the NAACP is not going to take any injustice from anyone.
The Make and Bib NAACP will be targeting the injustice brought by videos from Middle Georgia coach Mark Taylor owns and operates Speed Edge Sports, a training camp that has been operating out of space rented from a local Christian school. 3 videos were released that show Taylor using racist language while at a conference in Atlanta. Lynn Westbrooks, vice president of Make and Bib NAACP, says they believe Taylor made terroristic threats and should be charged.
We're hoping that the GBI will investigate this because we will be asking them to investigate this. We want him charged for terroristic threats because he did.
That tree right row will hang you from that tree.
Taylor trained up-and-coming young athletes, many of which were African American, which is what the NAACP is worried about.
Our concern today is the fact that Mr. Mark Taylor has coached and trained Black students throughout the Middle Georgia area. And we don't know what type of effect that he has had or what type of treatment that these kids may have endured during his training.
Some argue that Taylor was expressing his First Amendment right. According to the American Library Association, under the First Amendment, hate speech can only be criminalized when it directly incites criminal activity or consists of specific threats of violence targeted against a person or group. Willie Dumas with the NAACP believes that's exactly what Taylor did.
Hatred has no place. It has no place in our community or other communities. And so any type of hatred is not considered any type of free speech. It's simply what it is. It's hatred. And we stand against that.
We were told the state president of the NAACP Georgia chapter will take the lead on asking the GBI to do an investigation, and we will continue to keep you updated. Now we're going to go to Carlos Stevens, who has more on this story.
Thanks, Brianna. We continue our live team coverage tonight. An athlete that worked with Mark Taylor is speaking out. I spoke with him today, and he told me that it's something that nobody wants to see.
He hid it really well. I never seen it or heard it.
Jamari Jenkins says a few things stuck out to him about Mark Taylor that led him to pick him as his personal trainer, but he never saw a sign of racism until he saw videos like these online circulating in disbelief.
Ain't nothing but blacks up here. Atlanta's done gone down.
At first, I was like, oh, this probably somebody else. Like, I never recognized the voice or nothing. And then, as soon as the camera turned to his face, I'm like, huh?
Jenkins says the language in the videos were very
Anger. I just lost totally respect I have for him. Like, he lost it.
Jenkins says seeing and hearing what he heard only revealed one thing.
In my mind, I really thought he was just using us.
And Jenkins says he encourages other athletes to speak up as well.
Don't try to be quiet, express your feelings and, let them know like it was wrong and he deserved, what he deserved after that.
Now, this is definitely a story that we will continue to follow and bring you any new updates both on air and online. Amanda, back to you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. In local crime, a man already behind bars for aggravated assault and kidnapping is now facing a murder charge. Bibb County deputies say Chandrikas Ingram Jr. kidnapped and killed 24-year-old Mariah Stanfield last July. Court records say Ingram and two others were at the Econo Lodge Inn and Suites when he hit the victim in the back of the head and forced her into a vehicle at gunpoint. Her body was later found dead on the side of Knoxville Road, and the Bibb County coroner says she was shot multiple times. The Bibb County Fire Department says everyone is okay after a fire broke out at a local hotel. The Country Inn and Suites on Arkwright Road was evacuated as firefighters battled the flames. Investigators say they believe the blaze began with a faulty air conditioning unit in a vacant room. No injuries were reported. And congregating clergy, the latest learned at a luncheon for local faith leaders coming up after the break. Religious leaders from across Macon-Bibb County came together at the Mayor's Council of Clergy luncheon today. The meeting gives local faith leaders the opportunity to ask questions and learn more about how different congregations are working to improve the community.
Anyone in our community touches more people than the politicians it is the ministers, because every Sunday they are before people and they can share with them what's happening in our city, and hopefully those things that they share will be things that would invigorate our community.
The leaders meet every other month to address the issues facing the community. And coming up, medicine mistakes are costing people their lives. The shocking news, these instances are not all that rare. A look at the staggering numbers coming up after the break.
Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Garlick. Tornado watch does exist until 7 o'clock for all of the areas shaded in yellow. We have one line that's moving through, but potentially could see another line developing. So let's talk about the warnings that we have. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Wilkinson County. This goes for another 30 seconds, and then that will be allowed to expire. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning for Tatnall County until 5:45. Really just a couple areas along this leading edge that do have some activity associated with it. And you can see several tornado warnings being issued for this line just outside of Middle Georgia. But we are watching a pretty good area moving through McRae up towards Soperton. And then this area that moved through Cochran and across I-16. We do have meteorologist Ryan Miranda out along this area near Jeffersonville and Danville. Let's go out to meteorologist Ryan Miranda and get an update from him. Ryan, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Eric, we're driving right now along I-16 West. We're just into Lawrence County. We're about to get off here at the Cochran exit so we can turn around as we're kind of in the tail edge of the storms, but it's been extremely slow out here. Let me turn my camera around so you can see exactly what's going on. So here's the Cochran exit that we're just about to get off so we can turn around. We're getting some more still of those heavy downpours of the rain. There's been a lot of flooding, especially on the side of the roads. We've been seeing a lot of people that have been pulled over. Here at the top of this exit, there's actually a car that's just about to hop on the road. They have their blinkers on, and a lot of people that we've been driving by have been parked on the side of the road because we've been getting hit with some of the blinding rain. We're actually into a bit of a lull right now, which is why we're trying to turn around. But there's already been quite a lot of some ponding on the roads here. Notice that truck that's going by, all the water that's coming up behind it. We've been taking this extremely slow as the winds have been gusty as well, kind of been blowing around the car. We've been hydroplaning a little bit as we're looking out. This is out over I-16. We're crossing over the bridge right now over the exit. Look at some of those storm clouds out there in the distance. It's definitely been a pretty eerie and dark day. And we're going to turn around here and get some more of the storms, and we'll check back in a little bit.
Keep heading north. See if you can follow these storms as they move up toward Jeffersonville and Danville. Really the area that we are concerned with right now is that storm that you are on. So try to stay with that and bring us all the information that you can. So we're going to go back in time and show you what our winds looked like. And there's that area of rotation of that storm that Ryan's on right now. This started in Crisp County, did some damage there, moved up into Bleckley County. You can see it peaking near Cochran and then still rotating as it moves up into Wilkinson County. So that storm, very long-lived area of rotation with the storm kind of strengthening and kind of cycling, as we call it. So it'll strengthen and then not be as strong and then re-strengthen. So there's the areas of rotation and then a couple of those areas of rotation just outside of Middle Georgia. So those are the two areas of concern really right now in Georgia. But as we look at the big picture, we do have the potential for more storms to develop. So from a rain shot earlier, you saw the sunshine that was out. It wasn't long ago when we had those storms moving through Cordele. That sunshine could fuel these storms once again as we head into the evening. So we'll be watching for some redevelopment through the evening. That's why that tornado watch does go until 7 o'clock this evening, and the National Weather Service not expiring that tornado watch just yet. And then as we head toward Friday, we'll be watching for some thunderstorms as well. For the rest of the night, still looking at the possibility for some severe storms, level 1, level 2 on that threat level for the amount of storms that we could see. Still looking at a tornado threat with those storms as well. 68 in Sandersville, 67 in Roberta, 72 in Mount Vernon. Look at where we're seeing sunshine again, 75 in Cordele and 75 in Americus. That sunshine will allow for those storms to reform potentially. So we'll be watching that closely and watching radar trends as we go through the evening. 61 at 8 by noon, 67, 74 at 4 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Our 10-day temperature trend showing some warmer temperatures near 83 for Saturday. And then look at all the 80s next week. Now the 80s next week, they come with dry air. So we'll see a lot of sunshine next week, just looking absolutely perfect. Saturday, 83 degrees with some sunshine. And then Sunday, another chance for some storms. But then we warm up and turn sunny as we head toward next week. And we'll see those 80s continuing a little bit above average as we head toward the next really 10 days. Harrison Body Shop Fishing Game Forecast in the good category, 10 a.m. and 10:20 p.m.
Thank you so much, Eric. Something we will all likely face as we age is taking prescription medicines to improve our quality of life. And we would like to expect our caregivers to know what we are supposed to be taking and when. But as Spotlight on America's Lisa Fletcher discovered, medication dispensing errors are more common than you think and cost thousands of people their lives every year.
When 74-year-old Rosina Jackson went to a rehab facility to recover from a blood clot, she thought the worst was behind her. Little did she know that within weeks she'd be in an intensive care unit with a life-threatening condition caused by a mistake at the D.C. nursing home her family trusted.
They gave her someone else's medication.
And nobody noticed?
Nobody noticed.
How long did this go on for?
We don't know.
The family says it wasn't until Rosina complained about swelling in her throat that they examined what the facility had given her.
The medicine that they had sent her home with that belonged to someone else was stuck down in the middle of these.
Even more troubling, the medicine with someone else's name on it was the blood pressure drug lisinopril, to which Rosina is severely allergic. Her throat nearly swelled shut. To survive, doctors put her on a ventilator and into a medically induced coma for more than a week. Medication errors are not rare. A 2022 report estimates 7,000 to 9,000 people a year in the U.S. die from the mistakes, and hundreds of thousands more suffer adverse reactions.
How likely is it that the number of medication errors is underreported?
Very likely. I think we're seeing the tip of the iceberg when we look at error reporting.
Rita Ju is the president of the Institute for Safe Medication Practices.
There is so many different systems that failed in order to lead to that medication errors.
And while hospitals are required to follow strict practices when giving medication, Ju says it's not the same for care facilities.
The regulations and the standards are not as tight in a nursing home, for example, or a skilled nursing facility, there is not as much requirements for the different steps of double checking to make sure that the right medication is getting to the patients.
We obtained nursing home inspection records for all facilities nationwide from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And in February of 2023 alone, found 9,829 facilities across the U.S. cited for more than 20,000 violations that could lead to medication errors. Illinois, Ohio, California, and Texas were the states with the most violations in these categories.
But you give me somebody else's medicine, that could kill me.
Mark Miller is the D.C. Ombudsman for long-term care facilities. He says errors like these are inexcusable.
I think a lot of facilities are experiencing a lot of problems right now because of the staffing. You know, it's just, it was bad before the pandemic. The pandemic, I think, exacerbated it. And now we're seeing the results of that.
Making it all the more critical, Miller says, for families to pay attention.
The message to families is, to the extent that you can, you need to be involved with the care and you need to monitor the care.
Go to spotlightinvestigates.com, where you'll find resources, including a conversation with Miller about how to choose a facility, what to look for, what to ask, and his trick on getting a real view of how the place operates. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen, and again today we are at Dysfunction Junction Rescue here in Twiggs County. I'm joined again today by Joanna and Cheyenne. And look at this beautiful girl who is so full of loving we are going to showcase today. Who is this, Joanna?
This is Bonnie, and Bonnie is just about 3 years old now. She's a pit mix. Bonnie does need to be in a home by herself with no children and no farm animals, but she thinks she's a lap dog. She has no idea that she weighs 100 pounds.
She looks really healthy, folks. And remember now, a home with no animals, you said.
Right. No other animals. She needs to have her own owner.
Her own owner.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's about how old?
She is just about 3 years old now.
All right. Her name is Bonnie. So let's go ahead and find Bonnie a really good home. You see, she's pretty calm and laid back. And Joanna, if they want to adopt Bonnie, how would they go about doing that?
They can contact us at www.dysfunctionjunctionranchga, or they can get a hold of us at 478-258-4434.
All right, guys, let's take care of that today. Let's find Bonnie a beautiful home. She deserves it. Look how sweet she is. Let's go ahead and take care of that today. Thank you, Joanna and Cheyenne.
Thank you.
'Tornado watch does exist until 7 o'clock for all of the areas shaded in yellow. It does include most of middle Georgia, and we'll be watching a potential second line of storms developing as we head through the evening. So not going to give the all clear just yet. No severe thunderstorm warnings, but McIntyre down toward Danville, even over toward Dublin, tracking one storm that does have some lightning with it and has done some damage, and we'll have updates on that damage as well coming up on ABC 16 at 6 o'clock. So join us there, but we are watching the potential for more storms to form as we head through the evening. McIntyre, Dublin, Soperton, and down to the south and east, a little bit more robust storms with a lot of energy associated with it. So we'll be watching these storms closely as we go through the rest of the evening. Again, Tornado Watch does exist until 7 o'clock this evening, and we will be monitoring it. Amanda?
Thanks so much, Eric, and be sure to download that weather app and stay up to date on everything. And some exciting news from our Sinclair Day of Giving yesterday. More than 90 volunteer groups comprised of thousands of employees across the country volunteered their time and skills to local nonprofit organizations. This employee-led initiative assisted numerous charitable organizations, including food banks, homeless shelters, veterans organizations, diaper banks, community cleanups, and animal shelters in our local communities. WGXA worked alongside Backpack Buddy Ministries to prepare food items for students in need. According to our final tally, our team was able to prepare over 770 backpacks of food for children in Bibb County. And you can see the pictures of them there, looking so happy after their day of service. And that'll do it all for WGXA News at 5. Be sure to stick around on ABC 16. We'll be right back at 6.